Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you a matchup between the Chiba Lotte Marines and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. This game here is the second game in the series between these two ball clubs, as it is going to take place at Escon Field. Last night's ball game was a 6-1 victory in favor of the Fighters, as they had taken the victory in that one in front of 30,158. Tatsu got the win. He was 3-6. Kawamura took the loss. He fell to 1-3. Last night's game, Franmil Reyes hit his 22nd home run of the year in the third inning, as that has helped pace the ball club to their 6-1 victory. Well, tonight, the starting lineups, it is going to be Sam Long, the American. He's going to go head-to-head against Takayuki Kato. Kato looking to extend his personal career high to 11 wins here tonight on the season. He has got 10 wins against 1 loss, as he will be taking to the hill for the Fighters. Well, first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Chiba. Leading off tonight in center field is number 1, Kyoda Fujiwara. Batting second in right field is number 6, Misho Nishikawa. Hitting third at third base is number 10, Kyoto Uedo. And the cleanup spot in left field is number 51, Koki Yamaguchi. Hitting fifth at first base is number 99, Neftali Soto. Batting sixth and doing designated hitting is number 23, Shingo Ishikawa. In the seventh spot and playing second base is number 57, Ryushi Ogawa. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 2, Ko Matsukawa. And batting ninth at shortstop tonight is number 38, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And they're going to be facing Takayuki Kato. As we mentioned, he is 10-1 on the year. He has tied his career high. He didn't get the victory in last week's game. And he will be searching for win number 11 here tonight. He has worked 84 2/3 innings. He's allowed 74 hits, 29 runs, 25 have been earned, walking 5 and striking out 43, all while pitching to a 2.66 earned run average. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Chiba. Now your lineup for the home team, the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. Leading off tonight and playing shortstop is number 43, Tetsuki Mizuno. Playing second in center field is number 56, Ryohei Hosokawa. Batting third and doing designated hitting is number 99, Franmil Reyes. In the cleanup spot and in right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. Batting in the fifth spot and at first base is number 21, Kataro Kiyomiya. Batting sixth in left field is number 5, Yuki Nomura. In the seventh spot and playing third base is number 39, Naoki Arizono. Batting eighth at second base is number 95, Hiroki Tsuneya. Batting ninth, doing the catching, is number 64, Yua Tamiya. They're going to face the American Sam Long, who takes to the hill with a 1-4 record. He has worked 49 2/3 innings. He's allowed 52 hits, 25 runs, 23 have been earned, walking 15 and striking out 36, all while pitching to a 4.17 ERA. First pitch is about 4 minutes away. We're glad you guys can make it in tonight, as it is the hobbyist. He says he can't sleep tonight. I'm in your time zone, my friend, and it's glad that you can be here with us. So hopefully you can stick around with us, and I will be able to put you to sleep at some point. And maybe this game showed it was a later start, but we are in the Eastern time zone for this one. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back, chatted up with our friend, the hobbyist. Glad you can make it in. And we'll be getting to the action in just a couple of moments right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Chris says, what are you doing on this side of the continent? Well, we are visiting some family as we are taking care of that before we head off to Taiwan at the end of the month. Well, this game is just about ready to get underway as the fighters have taken to the field. Kato is just completing his tune-up tosses as we'll be ready to get this one going. Coming to bat for Chiba in inning number one is going to be Fujiwara, Nishikawa, and Uedo, as they will take on the crafty lefty of the fighters. There are other games across the NPB tonight, and we will keep you updated as it goes along. But as far as we are concerned right now, this is the only game in town. A couple hours' time, it'll be the Buffaloes and the Lions from the Balluna Dome. All the other games go off at 6 o'clock Japan time, or 1800 hours, so to speak. And all three games in the Central will go off at that time, and the Eagles and the Hawks will start at that time as well. Well, Kato has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway as the first pitch of the ball game is upon us. And so it is local time. We are at the top of the hour. Let's see if they can get it done at the top of the hour. Sometimes it slips into the 1 minute past. Kato has got the baseball, and he is ready to get things underway. As the lefty kicks and delivers, the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Fujiwara. Fujiwara on the season, he's hitting .292. He's got 5 homers to go with 31 runs driven in. And there's a fastball that comes inside and is even at 1-1. Kato is not one to blow the hitters away, but he does keep them off balance. He's able to work the pitches inside and out and change speeds effectively. There's a fastball swung on it. Is going to get looped over the shortstop's head into left field. And Fujiwara is aboard with a leadoff single here for the Marines to get things going, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Misho Nishikawa. Our friend Samurai Prayer in the house. And we welcome you to the stream as well. Hobbyist says, seems like this one is pretty early. This one is, I think the same two teams go off tomorrow at 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight Eastern. So it'll be an early start. We may poke our heads back in for this one as well. Chiba wearing an interesting uniform. They have the black tops with Chiba spelled out right across their chest. And they've got the white pants with the black piping. First pitch coming on the way to Nishikawa, swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Camping out underneath it is the center fielder. That's Hosokawa, and he's going to haul it in. So with one pitch, Nishikawa is retired for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Kyoto Uedo. Defensively tonight for the Fighters from left to right. In left field, it is Nomura in left, Hosokawa in center, and the right fielder is Manami. Around the horn from first to third, Kiyomiya at first. It is Suniya at second. Shortstop Mizuno, and at third base, it's Arizono. The battery of Kato and Tamiya, as Kato throws over to first base, and getting back in time easily is the base runner, Fujiwara. Fujiwara can run a little bit. He's got 5 stolen bases on the season. I expected that he would have maybe more at this point. There's a breaking ball that just misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Uedo. We had a pretty festive group in here last week. I was really surprised at the amount of audience that had pushed through our 2 streams. I don't know if we'll get that tonight, but I was really, really shocked and awed that we had that many people come through. There was a fastball swung on it, is tapped softly back to the pitcher. Serves almost as a swinging bunt. Uedo's going to be retired. He's in the books on a ground out, and that's going to go in the books 1-3 on the putout. So 2 gone here, and that advances Fujiwara into scoring position. That'll bring up the left fielder in Koki Yamaguchi. Well, for Yamaguchi, he enters the fray tonight hitting .279, but he has had some serious pop in the stick this year. He's got 17 homers to go with 41 runs batted in. Bats from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Kato. He is in scoring position as soon as he steps into the batter's box is Yamaguchi. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and missed. He looked like he wanted to add number 18 to the tally on that swing. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Yamaguchi waggles the bat. We're ready to face again the offering from the lefty. As Kato holds again to the set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count runs even to 1-1. I was catching some Major League Baseball before this one. I had checked in on the Tigers and the Athletics. Tigers went crazy in the 8th inning. Sort of whack of runs against the A's. I think they added some more in the 9th as well. Red Sox were playing the Dodgers on the West Coast. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Red Sox playing some good ball as of late. They had that 15-game win streak. Currently, last time I peeked in, they were beating the Dodgers in Los Angeles. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamaguchi. Runner at second, Fujiwara, 2 gone here in the inning. As the lefty works himself to the set, checks the runner at second, checks him again, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it's lifted into the seats on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Again, the lefty Fujiwara with a new baseball, ready to go back to work. 10 pitches already here in the inning for him, and to be quite honest, he's hardly broken a sweat. He's been able to induce some early swings. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down. It evens the count now at 2-2. We'll look to stay with these same 2 teams tomorrow night. I'll have to make a decision at some point, but I think that would be the earlier start. If I'm not mistaken, it goes off at 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight if you're on the East Coast. Either way, be sure to book the calendar. I think we had it initially in that this game would go off at 4 a.m. It doesn't. It's just my StreamYards doesn't follow with the location we're at. There's a breaking ball down, and the count now goes full to Yamaguchi. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looming on deck is the designated hitter. Tonight's first baseman, Neftali Soto. The designated hitter tonight is Ishikawa. Nodding in agreement with his catcher, Tamiya. The lefty again works himself to the set. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On its way. Breaking ball swung on, popped up. Looks like it's playable. Racing out is the catcher, Tamiya. He's in foul territory on the first base side. He's going to make the catch. Yamaguchi is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, so they squander a leadoff single off the bat at Kyoto Fujiwara. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Marines no score and the Fighters coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action from Escon Field in just a few.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Sam Long, the lefty, has completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here as he will be facing Tatsuki Mizuno, Ryohei Hosokawa, and Franmil Reyes to get things going here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Sam Long looking for his second win of the year against his 4 losses. He's got the lone victory to his name as he will get the ball here tonight. Mizuno batting .294, added 7 homers and 34 runs batted in. Homered on the first pitch last week when we were calling the Fighters. There was a breaking ball that misses down, so it won't be on the first pitch tonight. Should he run into a ball? So 1 ball and no strikes it is. We watched that game between the Fighters and the Eagles last weekend. 1-0 on the way. It is spiked up to the plate. The count now goes to 2-0 on Mizuno. Our friend the hobbyist says he liked the cool fire logo. Yeah, playing around with all kinds of different little things. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's a fastball that misses down. It's gone to 3-0. Sam Long, I believe, last of the Kansas City Royals. Hobbyist says, so how are the Eagles doing this season? The Eagles are absolute tire fire. They're in last place. They fired their manager. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and Mizuno has walked on 4 straight pitches. I'd like to say they're playing better lately, but I don't know if that would be the case. They didn't lose any games from Monday to Thursday this week because, well, quite frankly, they were on the All-Star break, and so that's the way it has gone for them. So the leadoff batter is aboard, and that is going to bring Ryohei Hosokawa to the plate. Batting from the left side, batting .273, couple homers and 9 RBIs. Got the start in center field tonight. Hosokawa 18 for 66 on the season. As the lefty Long kicks and delivers, he squares to bunt and he takes it for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Now back to our friend the hobbyist who was asking about the Tohoku Racket and Golden Eagles. They are 36 and 54. Are playing 400 baseball right now. They are only a couple of games behind the Dragons and the Carp, who are in the Central League. Again, scoring to bunt is Hosokawa. He's got his hand halfway up the bat, and he bunts it right down into the ground and fouls it off himself, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Friend the hobbyist says so, the same as last year. Yeah, they're not very good. The worst part is they actually lost a couple of players last year. They lost Masahiro Tanaka and was it Norimoto, 2 pitchers signed with the Veteran Arms, left and went to the Yomiuri Giants. They take 2 veteran arms off of already thin staff. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Mizuno at the runner at the first. Nobody gone here in the last half of the first inning. Franmil Reyes and Chusei Minami to follow here. So the firepower comes quickly for the Fighters. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Long delivers. Fastball swung on and another one lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Defensively tonight for the Marines from left to right field. Left field, it is Yamaguchi. In center, it's Fujiwara. In right field, it is Nishikawa. Around the horn from first to third, Soto is at first. Ogawa is at second. The shortstop is Yamazaki with Uedo at third. And the battery of Long and Matsukawa. Long delivers. Fastball swung on, and the beat rolls on. Another foul ball lifted into the seats down the third base line, and it's 5 pitches and 5 strikes, or at least foul balls, for the batter Hosokawa. So a new baseball to Sam Long, and he's going back to work again. Hosokawa has a very open stance. He really crouches low gets low in his legs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On the way, slow breaking ball swung on, another one chop foul, this time on the first base side. And the count remains at 0-2. Fighters Marines tonight, and we'll look to do Fighters Marines tomorrow night, as we mentioned at the top of the stream. I don't think there's any other games that'll go off at 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight on the East Coast. We'll look to tap into that action tomorrow. As such, here comes the 0-2 once again. Long kicks and delivers. Fastball this time misses outside. Good lights by the center fielder Hosokawa. Runs the count to 1-2. Looking ahead, it'll be Kohei Arihara going for the Fighters tomorrow against Andre Jackson. All the other games will go off a little bit later. It'll be the Bay Stars and the Giants from the Tokyo Dome. As the lefty long again works to the set. And he steps off and snap throws over to first, diving back easily in time as the runner Mizuno. Again tomorrow night. The other games that will go off, it'll be a couple hours later at midnight Pacific or 3 a.m. Eastern will be the Hawks and the Eagles. Breaking ball swung on, chopped softly over to the right side of the infield. They tagged Mizuno going to second base. Oh, he doesn't think he was there. Didn't think he got tagged. But I have to tell you, more than anything, he wants to have a look at it. But I got to say that he's out of the base path nonetheless. But let's see what they're going to rule here. The big boss wants to go up into the stands to have a look at it. We're going to wait and see here. Kind of reminds me, I was watching the play a couple of weeks ago when it was, I believe it was Gunnar Henderson. Was it he who was making the tag on the runner going from first to second when they played the Blue Jays a couple of weeks back? And the umpire didn't call him out and said that he didn't make a good enough effort to put the tag on him. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the replay will show. Play is under review. We haven't got anything ourselves. Here comes our first look. So the ground ball was to the second baseman. Did he apply the tag or not? As far as I'm concerned, it looked like he did. And the umpire feels that he did it as well. We'll get a closer look up at this. Mizuno was veering to avoid the tag. Oh, he might have got his jersey. I think they're going to go up with the right hand, and I think this play is going to stand. I don't know if there's enough to be able to reverse it. The way that the jersey of Mizuno was flying, and certainly the error that was in there, I think he may have got just the jersey, maybe not the player himself. I'll have to wait what the umpires will come up with on this one here, but as far as I'm concerned, he is definitely going to be out on this one. We should almost have ourselves a fan poll on this one here to see who thinks he was out or safe, if you guys have the feed as well. So as we wait for the mystery to be unsolved, we're going to give you guys some information as well with regards to the games. Sometimes the folks come into the want to know exactly what where they can find this game at. And what do we have here? Is that the out? And it looks like Mizuno has been retired. So it's going to go down as a fielder's choice to 4 to retire Mizuno. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Safe over at first base is Hosokawa. And it's going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate, who is smashed his 22nd home run last night. So Reyes batting .330 on the year, 22 homers to go with 55 runs batted in. As the lefty along works himself to the set position. And here comes the pitch to Reyes. It's a fastball that misses outside for a ball. Count is quickly 1-0. We'll get this out of the way. Tonight, if you're looking for the game, if you're wanting to hunt it down, Sapporo Television 1 or Gaora Sports, those are the television broadcast feeds. We'll get to the streaming in just a moment. As Long works himself into the set position, holds at the belt, checks the runner at first, and now he's ready to go. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is now even on Reyes. If you're looking for streaming options, you got DAZN, you got Rakuten TV, Baseball Live as your options. Depending upon what country you are listening from, well, that'll dictate whether you can get a feed or not. Our friend the Hobbyist is tapping out. Great to see you stop in there, Chris. Appreciate you for hopefully having us try to put you to sleep. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Reyes. Long delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. Count now goes to 2-1. And so if anybody comes in later, we'll just tell them to go to the 26-minute mark, and that's where they can pick up the feed of the game, or feeds of the game. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Reyes. Long looks in. He's got a wry smile across his face as he likes the signal that he's getting. Here comes the 2-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down, and it's now 3-1 to Reyes. This might be a decent pitch to run on right here if you are the Fighters. Hosokawa maybe to try to stay out of the double play, get himself into scoring position. With Chusei Manemi waiting his turn on deck. So here comes the 3-1 offering as the lefty along works to the set. Checks the runner. Checks him again. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded to third. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It's an inning-ending double play. It's going to go in the books as a 5-4-3 variety. And that'll do it here for the Fighters in their half of the first inning. No runs in the inning. No hits. No errors. And they didn't leave anybody aboard. Your scores were now through 1 complete inning. It is the Marines nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stick around. It is Marines and Fighters when we return. We got a 0-0 ball game as we go to the top of the second inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We're ready to resume the action as it's going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Marines. It'll be Neftali Soto, Shingo Ishikawa, and Ryusuke Ogawa to face the lefty Kato, who only threw 13 pitches in his first inning of work. And the first pitch, he double clutches and throws a fastball over to Soto for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Soto won the season hitting .241, but it's the 13 homers and 35 RBIs. As there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, the count goes even at 1-1. I was looking at Soto earlier, I should say earlier, as the pitch from Kato delivered. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. This ball's trouble. Backing up onto the warning track, but with room to make the catch is the left fielder Nomura, and that is going to retire Soto. He just missed it, got a little bit underneath it. He is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up the designated hitter in Shingo Ishikawa. I was just starting to say, I was looking at some stats on Soto before the game. One of the interesting things on Neftali Soto, he's played in the Japanese league for a number of years now, and he does not have a single stolen base. Sometimes you get somebody will get one at some point. First pitch fastball, take it for a called strike to Ishikawa. Ishikawa hitting 111 on the year, homer and 5 runs batted in. And you think about it, it's 9 years in the NPB now for Neftali Soto as that fastball misses up and away and the count goes even to 1-1 on Ishikawa. 9 seasons. He left the Cincinnati Reds and never, ever looked back. pitch on the way. Breaking ball just misses outside. And now the count goes to 2 balls and a strike on Ishikawa. Ishikawa was a one-time Yomiuri Giant, as he is enjoying his opportunity now with the Chiba Lotte Marines. Started his career with the Fighters. Then he ended up in the camp with the Giants, and of course, the last 4 seasons with the Marines. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, the count goes now even to 2-2. He was with the Fighters from 2013 to 2016. And then he was able to get to the Giants. The Giants in 2017 was the season they spent most playing time in the NPB. Fastball just misses in. A career 230 hitter. That says it all right there. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to the designated hitter of the Marines as the 3-2 is on the way. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Took a little something off that one, did the starter Kato, and that is going to put Ishikawa in the books for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Ryusei Ogawa to the plate. Kind of makes you wonder when he has been around that long. He doesn't have any speed, Ishikawa, just thinking about it. 18 career home runs. He's either got 2 things going on. He's either got pictures on somebody in management's wives, or them and or maybe not with their wives, or he's a really good clubhouse guy, and that would probably be the latter of the choices. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and Ogawa's in the hole at 0-1. Ogawa's hitting .271 with no homers and 12 RBIs. As the lefty Kato kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on his chop foul just past the first base coach's box, and Ogawa's in the hole at 0-2. When I look at this Chiba lineup, there's only a couple of spots where I do think that they can get some production from, and after that, it is pretty thin. As the lefty double clutches and delivers. Fastball just misses outside. The count goes to 1-2 on Ogawa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is taken off. I thought it might have skipped, but Kotaro Kiyomiya was able to take it in the air right off his shoe tops. Ogawa's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the first baseman of the Fighters. And that'll do it for Chiba in the 2nd. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 2. Your score is the Marines nothing and the Fighters nothing, and are throwing our score stuff around. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after we clean ourselves up and give you all the action right after this timeout. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 2. It's 0-0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order coming up for the Fighters. That means Chusei Minami, Kotaro Kiyomiya, and Yuki Nomura. 4, 5, and 6 hitters to face Sam Long here in inning number 2. It is 17 pitches for Long through his first inning of work. He did retire the side with a unconventional 1-2-3 inning, but it was 1-2-3 nonetheless. So Minami stepping in, Long ready to go to work. As he rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. A couple things I noticed about Long. He Goes into his motion. He takes his eyes completely off the target. He looks away over to the first base coach's box. Right at the top of his delivery, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away over the first base side. Count is 1-1. I wonder if he locked in on his target, just a little thing like that, if that would help his strike throwing. I look at his total walks. He has walked 15 batters in 49 innings. Basically, he's up around 1 every 3 innings. I don't know if I like that, or 3 per 9. There is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep right field. Moving back over toward the foul line and making the catch is Nishikawa. Manami is going to be gone for out number 1. That is going to bring up the first baseman in Kotaro Kiyomiya. Like he delivered a breaking ball that didn't really want to break. Ball hung up in the zone. A lot of spin, but nothing to show for it. Manami had himself a decent all-star game this past week, including throwing a runner out at the plate. So that brings Kiyomiya to the plate, hitting .244 on the year, with 11 homers and 38 RBIs. Takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kiyomiya has gone cold over the last little bit. Started the season off pretty good, but his numbers have dwindled. There is a breaking ball missing up and in, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I'll be able to keep you updated on anything for a while because there's all later starts tonight. There's a fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet of Kiyomiya, and the count is now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Fouled it right off. He wears a shin guard on the right leg, and it looked like it caught him on the toe. I don't know if it was like it was on the inside part of the toe. Long ready to go again. Delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and another one fouled away. This time into the feet of the catcher. And the count 1-2 to Kiyomiya. Bottom of the second inning. No score here between the Marines and the Fighters. Lefty-lefty matchup. Sam Long getting the sign from his catcher. As he's ready to rock into the motion, he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses low, and the count now goes even to 2-2. My early impressions of Sam Long is just pitch efficiency, just not getting ahead in the count and for most of the hitters so far tonight, and throwing too many pitches. There's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count goes to 3-2. I could see him. He kind of reminds me of Dietrich Enns, not in Enns' first year, but Enns' last year with the Saitama Cebu Lions. It was like a battle just to get through 5 innings. Way too many pitches, and that's where it looks like Long is heading here in this one. 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is for the left-handed hitting first baseman of the Fighters. Waggling his bat, Long looking in and getting the sign. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's knifed down the left field line, giving chase. Oh, and making a really nice catch on the run is Koki Yamaguchi. Nice play there by the left fielder of the Marines. Kiyomiya is going to feel a little hard done by. Hit the ball right on the screws, but the ball was slicing away from the left fielder. But Yamaguchi able to run it down with a nice backhanded grab. And that is going to put Kiyomiya on the books for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Yuki Nomura. Well, for Nomura, he's hitting .265 on the season, 13 homers and 48 runs batted in. As Long delivers, there's a breaking ball missing outside, and the count is 1-0 to Nomura. Long rocking himself into the delivery, kicks and fires. It is a fastball missing upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. Curious to see what Long's going to look like the second time through the order. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Everything's going to be coming full circle here in a couple moments. And the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses down. Count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes, and Long kicks and delivers, and he's going to miss on that one. That's going to be ball 4 as Nomura is going to take his base. 4 straight balls after retiring the first 2 batters. That's not a good sign. As now Nomura is aboard, and that'll bring up Naoki Arizono. Now, I'm curious to see Arizono and the next hitter, Sania. It's Arizona playing third base in this one, and Sania playing second. 2 younger players getting opportunity. Arizona in the early going, he's hitting .429. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs. He's 6 for 14 to begin his season with the Fighters this year. As the lefty Long throws over to first base and easily diving back in time as the runner Nomura. Left-hander against the right-hander. Sam Long works it to the belt. Checks the runner over at first. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses in the left-handed batter's box. The count goes to 1-0 on Arizona. Again, falling behind in the count again to the Fighters hitters. I think if you're the Marines, I think you're worried, a little worried here. You got to hope that maybe Long can get you 5 innings and get him out of there in a hurry. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swung on, grounded to the left side. Fielded on the run by the third baseman. Oh, nice play there by Uedo, who throws it to second. It's going to go in the books as a fielder's choice. 5-4 to erase Nomura. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of inning number 2. They go quietly once again. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 3rd inning. It is Chiba nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Marines. That means Matsukawa, Yamazaki, and the top of the order, Fujiwara. You got things going here against the starter, Kato. 26 pitches in 2 innings for Takayuki. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Matsukawa. Matsukawa hitting .221 on the season. Homers and 6 RBIs, getting the start behind the plate tonight for the Marines. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is Hosokawa. And that's going to retire Matsukawa for the 1st out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away here for the Marines. I'll bring up the shortstop in Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Well, for Yamazaki, he's hitting .261 on the season, no homers and 1 RBI. Batting from the left side here, he's 12 for 46. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yamazaki getting the nod at the shortstop position. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Again, the lefty double clutches and delivers. Fastball misses outside. Count is 2-1. Kato seemingly picking up the pace a little bit in the way that he is working. The base hit to start the ball game, and that has been it so far. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count goes to 2-2 on Yamazaki. Again, the lefty Kato picking up the sign from his catcher, and he kicks and delivers. Another fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2. It's a fastball, but I take a look at that grip that he threw. It almost looked like a bit of a cutter in some regards, but it just stayed on a horizontal plane. There's a breaking ball that backs Yamazaki off the plate, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 9-hole hitter of the Marines. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. It's turning into quite a battle here against Yamazaki. I guess if you're not going to get a base hitter, you're going to find your way on base. You might as well make it a quality at bat in some capacities. And that is what this one is here, the 8th pitch of the at bat on its way. Fastball misses up and in, and that's going to be ball 4. So Yamazaki is aboard with a 1-out walk. That'll bring up the top of the order in Kyota Fujiwara. I did get a chance to look at the over-unders for this one, or the spreads. I know sometimes there's people who come in and want to know what the over-unders or all that type of stuff would be. I would have guessed that this one here, probably in the first 5 innings, maybe to keep it under 3.5. That would have been my projection. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Fujiwara. But I think when it gets into the deeper part of the ball game, one would have to think that it's probably going to be a bit of a wider spread. I don't know if Chiba is, as this game goes on, is going to be able to keep it tight. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul just past the first base coach's box. The count now goes to 0-2 on Fujiwara. Fujiwara has the only hit in tonight's game. There has been traffic on the base paths, but it has been base on balls for both the Fighters and the Marines. Our friend Lumen Code is in the house. Said he thought this game was in 3 hours. Well, the problem is that I'll tell you in a second. I'm in a different time zone right now, and so the game actually goes off at 1 o'clock Eastern or at 10 p.m. Pacific. So when it asked me for the time, I put it 3 hours ahead, not intentionally because I'm in a different time zone. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On the way, fastball just misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Fujiwara. So glad you guys could make it in for some late-night Japanese baseball. Or early morning, depending upon where you're at in North America. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Kato, who is looking for his 11th win, works himself to the set. Does a snap throw over to first base, and easily getting back is the runner Yamazaki. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on and chopped foul past the bag at first base, and the count remains at 1-2. Lumen Code says, glad he could make it in. Yeah, we're going to do it again tomorrow night. I think the same two teams, but it'll be at 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight Eastern. So the start will be an hour earlier. Try to stay with this one again. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2 on Fujiwara. I was going to try to call a game last night or early in the morning. It would have been 5 a.m. Eastern, and just couldn't get up to do it. A long day of flying and everything else the day before. Here's the 2-2 pitch as Kato kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, chopped over to the right side of the infield. They're going to go to second for the force. Avoiding the ball was Yamazaki, and it sort of changed his route. It was a nice play there by the second baseman, Sania, to stay with it. So gone at second is Yamazaki on the fielder's choice. It is 4-6 for the second out of the inning. Fujiwara is safe at first on that fielder's choice. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in Misho Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to straightaway center field on the first pitch he saw. He's hitting .298 now on the year with 7 homers and 39 runs batted in. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside, and the count is 1-0. I will say this, Chiba does have a few nice pieces in the puzzle. They just don't have enough. I do like the catcher Sato, who's getting the night off tonight. I like Nishikawa. I'd like to see more of Uedo. He looks like a promising young player. Certainly can fill out the uniform well. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-0. Koki Yamaguchi having himself a fine season this year. We'll see if he can do it back-to-back seasons. Struggled with some niggling injuries over the last couple of years. I also think there's something there with Ogawa as well. So you got a few pieces to the puzzle. The Marines would just need a few more. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now 2-1 to Nishikawa. I'm not here to pump the tires of the Marines as they find themselves in second last place in the Pacific. Fastball taken for a called strike. Oh, Nishikawa didn't like that one. He did a 180. He was thinking that he was going to have to turn out of the way on that, and ended up taking it for a called strike. So Kato getting a veteran call from the home plate umpire. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Kato again holding set. Checks the runner. Yeah, now he does a token toss over to first base, and easily getting back is the runner Fujiwara. May not be the worst pitch to run on right here. It is a 2-ball, 2-strike count. You put the ball in play. If not, then you've got a chance for the runner to get into scoring position. Keep our eye on the runner over at first base. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. The runner was on the move, so just as we anticipated, he's trying to put the runner in motion. We'll see if they do it again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. The lefty Kato getting the sign from his catcher. And now he gets something that he likes here. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and it's popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. We'll do it all over again. 2-2 it remains. So it was a pretty easy first couple innings for the lefty Kato, but the batters that have come to plate this inning have really given him battle. 8 pitch at bat to Yamazaki. That's going to be the 7th pitch to Nishikawa, and it was 6 pitches to Fujiwara. We'll fluff up your numbers. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the lefty again works set. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This is belted foul. It's going to hook down the left field line. He absolutely tattooed it to Nishikawa, but that is just a long foul ball. And the count remains at 2-2. Top of the third inning. It is the Fighters and the Marines locked at zeros. Early ball game here tonight. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Kato getting the sign from his catcher. He works himself to the belt. Now he delivers. Fastball just misses down and away. It's going to be 3-2. And now the runner, Fujiwara, will be on the move. 50 pitches now already for the Fighters lefty, who I would expect not to really push more than 85 to 90 pitches in this one tonight. So here comes the 3-2 to Nishikawa. Lefty Kato holds to the belt. There goes the runner. And it's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4. Nishikawa is going to be aboard with a walk. That's going to bring Uedo to the plate. It's going to put runners at first and second. So the runner Fujiwara at second, runner at first Nishikawa. And Kyoto Uedo coming to the dish. The Chave says, so good to be back. Yeah, well, we're in your time zone for a little bit. Just down the highway. I think the Chave, if I'm not mistaken, is in Toronto. So left-hander against the left-hander as Uedo waits on the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Uedo getting the start at third base tonight here for this one. Got the lefty working himself into the set. He checks the runner at second. Checks him again, now delivers. There's a fastball that's waved out and missed. Count goes to 1-1 on Uedo. It was a fastball, but it was of the split finger variety. And because of the lower arm angle that Kato has, the splitter doesn't really go 12-6. It goes almost from 10-4. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1-2. Friend Gracie Lynn says she's in the house here. Welcome. She says, how's it going? It's going pretty good. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and chop foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2. Chief says, still listening from Toronto, happy to be awake for the game. And our friend Gracie Lynn is joining us from Costa Rica yet again. That's awesome. It is that time of the year that she migrates south. Always great to have you in. Here comes the 1-2 pitch again from Kato. Checks the runner at second, holds at the belt. Now he delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded, foul, just down the first base line, barely. The count remains a 1-2 to Uedo. As I mentioned, last weekend we had a really big crowd in here, and it was really great to have everybody in. And tonight, a little bit of a late arriving crowd. We'll be on the same airwaves tomorrow, but it'll be an hour earlier start, midnight Eastern or 9 o'clock Pacific. Same 2 teams will go at it. As we mentioned, Kohei Arihara will take to the hill for the Fighters in that one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and Kato gets himself out of a jam. Uedo's in the books for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in the top half for Chiba. Well, no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. They did leave a couple of runners left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is the Marines nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being here. And our friend Harrison is on his way in here tonight. We're glad you can make it in here as well. Stay with us, everybody. Right back after this.
Giving me wind and rain.
Your score, it's 0-0 here, moving to the bottom of the third, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Fighters in this one. Sania, Tamiya, and Mizuno to face Sam Long. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line, moving over underneath it with plenty of space to make the catch is the right fielder Nishikawa. And with one pitch, we have one away here to start the third inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Tamiya. We were talking in the last week about our friend Harrison and, the opportunity to go to Japan and everything else. Getting back to visit family, and also had a dinner with a friend of mine who I went to high school with. And, it's life is short. And we were talking with her, and she's had to battle the last year and change of our lives as a cancer battler. And not only did she have it, it's also spread to her lungs. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Tamiya. She's in good spirit, but she is battling it. And so when we talk about the things that we want to do in life, make sure that you want to do it when you can while you have your health, because you never know when the guy with the hood and the sickle is standing around the corner. As that fastball misses down and in, and the count is 1-1. So always try to enjoy the time that you have and make the most of it. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-1 on Tamiya. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Tamiya batting from the left side here, hitting .285 on the year, 3 homers and 16 RBIs. As Long rocks himself slowly into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count goes to 2-2. Marines Fighters in the bottom of the third inning. Only 1 hit in this ball game so far, and that belongs to the leadoff hitter Fujiwara. The rest of the traffic has come via the base on balls, as there's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is full. Gracie Lynn says, yeah, life is full of opportunities. I'll talk about that in just a second. I thought there was something I'll share with our audience. There's a fastball swung on. It is hit softly up the middle, fielded on the backhand by the second baseman Ryusei Ogawa. And it's a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order in Tatsuki Mizuno. Talking about opportunities, there's a podcast that is on YouTube and also on SiriusXM. It's called Diary of a CEO. If you haven't seen it, check it out. They've got some pretty interesting guests. And it's a British fella a black fella from Britain who is the interviewer. I forget his name, Stephen. I don't know the last name. And he has a lot of interesting guests that come on to the show. As there's a fastball taken at the knees for a call strike, count is 0-1 to Mizuno. But the one that I was thinking about was he did an interview with Casey Neistat. And so if you're not familiar with him, was one of the bigger YouTubers for a while. There's a breaking ball missing outside. The count goes to 1-1. He was doing his daily vlog and all the rest of that. And he had a really interesting piece about and perspective on life. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's belted to deep right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And it's going to be gone. A home run into the right field bullpen. And Mizuno, who homered last week to start the ball game, has opened up the scoring here in this one with a solo shot. That ball got out in an absolute hurry. And the Fighters have taken a 1-0 lead here in the third inning on the 8th home run of the year by Mizuno. Our friend Harrison asked the questions. Will the Mets offer you Pena for Skubal? I'm not so sure about that. I don't think he's going to be a Met. That's for certain. As the lefty long delivers the first pitch, breaking ball misses way outside to Hosokawa, counts 1-0. Hosokawa reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's 269 on the year. He squares the bunt, and he bunts it, and he fouls it off into himself, and the count is 1-1. I think Casey Mize will get traded. He was scratched from his start tonight. I wouldn't bat an eye that maybe the Tigers are talking to the San Francisco Giants. I could just see Mize being a Giant at some point. He's kind of an under-the-radar trade. I think the Giants said that they're not on a total rebuild, but they wouldn't mind adding some controllable pieces. Now, Mize is at the end of a contract here, and so if anybody traded for him, I'm sure they're going to have to want to lock him up. Fastball swung on, grounded to second, fielded neatly by Ogawa. He fields it, throws to first, ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Fighters, but they open up the scoring. Third of the game is now in the books. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We're now moving to the top of the fourth inning. Your score is the Fighters 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines, no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. G. Noam says he's going to be a Dodger, sadly. I don't know. I think the Brewers might offer a decent package. I'm not sure if the Cubs have enough to pry him from the Tigers, but I don't know if he's going to be a Dodger just quite yet. We'll be back in just a couple moments, and we'll speculate on the possible moves around Major League Baseball. Our score is 1-0 for the Fighters as we move to the top of the fourth inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. If you had Mizuno on the bingo card to hit the home run to put the Fighters up in front, well, then you have got the right scenario and right situation. As they have a 1-0 lead here for the Fighters, and the first pitch delivered to Koki Yamaguchi is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. Yamaguchi 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to the catcher his first time up. It is the heart of the batting order for the Marines, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. As Yamaguchi has stepped out, he wasn't quite ready, and he thought that Kato was working just a little too quickly. And there's a really slow breaking ball taken for a called strike. That was at 90 kilometers an hour, so that was in the mid-50s. And the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted into left center field. It's going to get down. It's going to get cut off, or is it? They're going to play soccer with it, and they kick it around in the outfield to the Fighters, rounding second and heading to third with a stand-up. I'm not sure they're going to call it a triple as Yamaguchi. We'll have to get the look on that one. It was a single for sure, but it looks like it's going to be a two-base error, as that was absolutely a horror show in the outfield as Hosokawa and Nomura got their communications all miswired. We'll look at the replay of that again. Singled, no problem, as they cut it off. And as he went over to cut it off, it was Nomura who kind of got in the way of the center fielder, and the ball ended up off his foot and kicked into center field, and that allowed the runner to get all the way around to third. We'll have to see how they're going to score that officially. If it's a triple for Yamaguchi, I want an investigation. And that's going to bring Neftali Soto to the plate. And he first pitched to Soto as a fastball missing up and away for ball one. Count is 1-0. Oh, if you were watching this, if you had a chance to see it on the TV, it would just make your stomach turn. If you were a Fighter fan, if you were a fan of the Marines, you're pumping a fist. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Soto. And then you got the dangerous Neftali Soto at the plate. Looking to see what they've awarded on this one so far. Cato again holding at the belt. And there's a pitch taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Looking to see if they have made any type of formal announcement on it yet, but we still don't see it yet. We'll give you that as soon as we can. And there's a pitch that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Soto. Usually get our information from the NPB site, the Japanese. Interesting. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and is lifted down the right field line. And it's going to be playable. In to catch it is Manami tagging at third. Here comes the throw to the plate. And it is in time, but it bounces and it gets away from Tamiya and in safely. Oh, Manami showcasing that plus arm that he has right from the warning track. Let her rip. And that ball is going to be, it's going to be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Soto. He's going to be gone for the first out of the inning. Yamaguchi in to score the tying run. It's going to lock us up at ones. But, oh, boy, the arm of Chusei Manami on full display. He got underneath the ball and just let her rip. And that ball there, it ended up short-hopping the catcher. If that ball doesn't short-hop him, I think he's going to be out. So Manami, unfortunately, not being able to help his team out in that situation, but what a great throw by him. First pitch breaking ball delivered to Ishikawa, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn said when Victor Robles was still considered a highly touted prospect. I can understand why Robles was a prospect. As there's a pitch that is fouled away, and the count is now 0-2 to Ishikawa. When I saw Robles play for the Mariners, he looks the part. Unfortunately, he hasn't played the part. Can't stay healthy enough. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Speaking of outfielders and players who we're talking about, Max Clark made his major league debut for the Detroit Tigers tonight. He reached base 4 times. 3 hits. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Ishikawa. It's a good way to announce yourself into professional baseball. A little surprised at the number of Marine fans that have made the trek for this one. Here's the 2-2 pitch. On its way, fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Ishikawa. Yeah, I got to tell you, this lineup for the Marines, I think that you could bring a tee out, put the ball on the tee in front of home plate, and just let them swing away, and I don't know if they'd be able to get many hits, especially this bottom part of the order. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Just got to serve it up and keep it around the zone. As Kato kicks and delivers. Slow breaking ball swung on and missed. And Ishikawa is down on strikes for the second time tonight. It's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Ryusuke Ogawa. Well, for Ogawa, 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to the first baseman to end, I shouldn't say it, he lined out to the first baseman to end the second inning. And the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Kato again kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now runs to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Cato nodding in agreement with his catcher Tamiya. He likes the sign that he's got. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into center field. Hosokawa underneath it. There to make the catch, and that's going to retire Ogawa for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Marines get one back on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Neftali Soto. And that is where we stand here as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4. 1-1 is your score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. I see Harrison says, you guys listening on Torres? I would think so. And I would think that that is something that they're probably going to look to make a move on. We'll be back in just a couple of moments right after this. Well, we got the official scoring on that ball to start the inning off the bat of Yamaguchi. They gave him a double, and it was an error charge to the left fielder, and that was Yuki Nomura. So a double, and then the E7, and then the sacrifice fly by Soto to even the score at 1. Stick around, everybody. It is 1-1 as we move to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. The first pitch delivered to Franmil Reyes was a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. Sam Long delivers a fastball taken at the knees for called strike. Count is now 1-1 to Reyes. Reyes 0 for 1 tonight, grounded into a double play his first time up. Seen his season average drop to 329. As Long kicks and delivers, there is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. I've been saying before that Gleyber Torres is a goner. I think Hao-Yu Lee will step in and play the second base position for the Tigers just nicely. Or they leave Lee at third, and they maybe run Max Anderson up into the big leagues. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted into shallow center field, and Franmil Reyes is aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 4th inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Chusei Minami. Going to be a lot of interest across Major League Baseball over the next couple of days. Lots of 3 more days. I think it's 5 o'clock Pacific, or no, 5 o'clock Central on Monday is the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. So Franmil Reyes aboard with a leadoff single. That brings Minami to the plate. Minami 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. Left-hander against the right-hander. Long working to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Minami. Minami with his 19 homers, they pack quite the punch in the middle of this order. You got Reyes with 22, Minami with 19, Kiyomiya with 11, and Nomura with 13 homers. So lots of muscle in the middle part of the order. And, of course, you got Mizuno, who hit his 8th tonight. Be a trivia question that I would be interested in knowing. I'll have to look it up. What's the most amount of home runs a team has hit, or double-digit home runs a team has hit in the NPB as that fastball misses down? Like, in other words, do they have 5 players with at least 10 home runs? Is there 7 players with at least 10? I think that would be an interesting conversation starter. Again, the lefty long working to the belt. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2 on Manami. I'll see what kind of off-speed pitch that Long might deliver here, because I think blowing that fastball at the knees by Manami, if I was in his shoes, I'd be calling for something soft immediately. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Long again looks in and gets the sign from his catcher. And now he steps off the rubber as he's going to have to cycle through the signage again. Long finally nodding in agreement with his catcher, Matsukawa, as he gets the sign he likes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Kicks and fires, breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Bottom of the 4th inning, game is locked at 1s. Fighters and Marines from Escon Field in Hokkaido. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Lefty holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball down. It squirts away from the catcher, Matsukawa. He's able to run it down, and Reyes not going anywhere. Now the count is 3-2 to Manami. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Manami finally digs himself in as we're ready to get back to the action. Long chewing that gum at a rapid pace. He checks the runner over at first. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On its way. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Again, Manami waiting on the offering here as bends at the knees. Now he looks in at the pitcher Long. The lefty holds to the set. Here comes the 3-2 yet again. Fastball down. It's going to be ball 4. Manami wins it. That's going to put runners at first and second. It's going to bring Kotaro Kiyomiya to the plate. So both of these starting pitchers tonight here, even though the score is 1-1 in the 4th inning, it has been a game of basically being escape artists. They've not been crisp, either one of them, which is a little bit surprising. Now, this is going to bring the pitching coach of the Marines out to the mound as Kuroki is out to have a few words with Long as they've got the interpreter with them. Those conversations must take a little bit longer. You know, you wonder what the average trip to the mound time would be in Major League Baseball. Certainly in the Japanese league, you've got the manager saying something, and then, of course, the interpreter having to repeat it in English. And if the pitcher has something to say, it goes back the other way. Well, that conference is over. It brings Kiyomiya to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He's flown out to the left fielder his first time up. So Reyes, the runner at second. Runner at first is Manami. As we are ready to resume the action, Kiyomiya's average is dipped to 243 as he bats from the left side here against the lefty. Reyes has a rather gingerly lead at second base. Now he gets off a little bit further. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside for ball 1. Count 1-0 to Kiyomiya. Our friend Genome says he doesn't watch this type of baseball. He watches the MLB. So who would you compare from the MLB to the pitcher that's pitching right now so he can engage? 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, is chopped over to short. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It's not going to be in time. It'll be a fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout of Minami at first. Advancing to third is Reyes. Safe on the back end is Kiyomiya. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Yuki Nomura. Well, seeing that this pitcher, Sam Long, had come from Major League Baseball, he spent time last year with the Kansas City Royals. I would say that, maybe a poor man's Foster Griffin, who had come back from the Japanese League to the Washington Nationals this year. Looks like Long has some ability. His mechanics look pretty smooth. Looks like his command is a bit of an issue. And what was it? Griffin spent 3 years with the Yomiuri Giants. He come back and he's got himself an all-star year with the Nationals. Although I don't think this particular pitcher, Long, throws as hard as Griffin. But, in terms of style points, that's how I would look at it. So this brings Nomura to the plate, who has walked in his only trip so far. He was charged with the error in left field when he kicked the ball away from the center fielder in the last half inning that led to a run. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Lumen Code says, brand new to baseball, considering buying Out of the Park 27 on the PC to learn more and see if I get into the stats and stuff. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, back in the day, you can go and look at the box scores every day. Kind of helps you a little bit. Missed that with the old newspapers. There's a fastball swung on. It's driven into deep center field. Back on it, making an over-the-shoulder catch is Fujiwara, tagging at third, and coming home is Reyes. That's going to break the deadlock. It's going to be a sacrifice fly to center field. RBI credited to Nomura. He's gone for the second out. And in to score Reyes with the second run of the Fighters. That's going to make the score line 2-1. That'll bring up the third baseman in Naoki Arizono. I was saying back in the day when you used to be able to get the newspapers, and I remember reading the Detroit Free Press as a kid. Get it in the morning and you're going through the box scores. The only games they wouldn't get you would be the late night games, as they would have to give you the next day, as the paper run was a morning paper. So here comes the first offering to Arizona. Instead, they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Kiyomiya. Arizona bounced into a fielder's choice in the second inning to end the inning. As the lefty works himself to the set position. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Count 0-1 there. Arizona. Another thing that I pick up sometimes, and I don't always look at it, I should have brought it on the plane, and that is Baseball Digest puts out they used to put it out monthly. Now it's every other month. It's more of a magazine type. So for Major League Baseball aficionados, if you're into the magazines, that sort of stuff, that's a good read. And they do it for all ages. They do it for adults. They do it for kids. There's something for everybody. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. And this ball is going to get down. It's going to just get to as they were shading the hitter to left center. And it's going to be a double for Arizona. Stopping at third is Kiyomiya. So Arizona continues to swing the bat pretty well. They had him shaded to left center as the center fielder, Fujiwara, was more to the left center field gap. He drove the ball to right center field. Ball ended up getting down, splitting the defenders. Able to cut it off before it got to the wall. But he is now at second base, and that is going to bring up the second baseman in Hiroki Suniya. So this is going to bring Sinia to the plate. He's looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 5 so far. As the lefty long works himself to the belt. And for his first NPB hit, and it would be timely if it could come here. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. He was the first pick in the 2025 Development Player Draft. He is 22 years old. He went to Hokkaido University. I hope I said that right. He also went to Sapporo Seishu High School. So he's from the area. Local connections. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball that just misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-0. So he is in a good spot. Here is the young fellow, Sinia. So 2 balls and no strikes. Long trying to get himself out of this jam as the lefty works himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-0. Kicks and delivers. Fastball down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say it didn't go. And he's worked the count to 3-0. They do have an open base at first base. And it's Iwa Tamiya who waits his turn on deck. So right now the Fighters are in a pretty good position here with a 2-1 lead. And they're knocking at the door with a couple out for more runs to come. So here comes the 3-0 offering as the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and grounded foul. They gave him the green light at 3-0. He hammered it foul down the third baseline. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Some confidence maybe from the big boss. So Kiyomiya, the runner at third. Arizona, the runner at second. 3 balls and 1 strike here to the right-handed hitting the second baseman, Sinia. And Long checks the runner back at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball moves off Sinia inside. It's going to be ball 4. Yet another walk allowed by Sam Long. That is going to bring up the catcher in Iwa Tamiya. So by my count here tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4 walks issued by Long in the 4 innings pitched. That is not going to keep you around very much in this one. He's got himself in a pickle. He's trying to work himself out of it again. Bases juiced, 2 gone here in the inning. So if you just wandered in, Fighters knocking on the door, ready to kick it down. Big spot in the ball game right here. Lefty-lefty matchup. Tamiya batting .284. 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded to second, his only time up. And there's nowhere to put him. Long's going to have to pitch to him. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left field, but it's going to go right to the glove of Yamaguchi. Oh, he make that one look easy. But he puts that one away, and Tamiya is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they strand the bases loaded, but they do get a run in the inning. 1 run on the benefit of only 2 hits. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Your scores were through 4 complete. It is the Fighters with a 2-1 lead over the Marines. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the fifth inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters slated to come to bat for the Marines. That means it's going to be Matsukawa, Yamazaki, and Fujiwara. They are doing their dances, are the mascots. Looks like it is the Fox dance. I would have thought that would have just been a fad, but it looks like it is sticking around longer than it should be. As the kids would say, 6, 7. Well, it looks like that has run its course, but the mascots and the Marines and the fighters, cheerleaders, all doing the Fox dance in Hokkaido. So, ready to resume the action here as Kato is back on the bump. And here we go again, as it will be Matsukawa to lead it off. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew up to center his first time up. As the lefty Kato delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. I would hazard a guess this probably is the last inning for Kato. I don't think he's going to be reaching his pitch limit before this inning is out. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into right field. Moving over underneath it is Manami. He's got plenty of space. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Matsukawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the shortstop in Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And for Yamazaki, well, he walked tonight, and he was erased in a fielder's choice back in the third inning. It's his second plate appearance, 12 for 46 on the year. Commenting earlier that this is a guy you want to pitch to. He's batting ninth for a reason. First pitch fastball misses inside. It's ball 1. Certainly don't want to give the 9-hole hitter a free pass. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now runs even at 1-1. And the lefty kicks and double clutches and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count now goes to 2-1 on Yamazaki. Here comes the 2-1 as Kato delivers. There's a breaking ball missing inside. And we're back to where we were in the third inning, where he walked the batter on 8 pitches. So Kato struggling here. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. And now we are running full to Yamazaki. I don't know if Yamazaki has swung the bat or at least made contact with any of the pitches in this one here tonight. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 3-2 to Yamazaki. Fighters have the lead. Top of the fifth inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to short. Mizuno fields it, fires to first. And they're easily able to get Yamazaki. It's a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Kyota Fujiwara. Well, for Fujiwara, he has reached base both times he's come to the plate. He had a single to lead off the ball game, and then he bounced into a fielder's choice. Was left stranded at second base in the third inning. The first pitch is a fastball swung on, grounded softly to second, fielded neatly by Sania. He throws to first, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning here for Kato. And that'll do it for the Marines here in their half of the fifth. Half of the ball game is in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the fifth inning, it is a 2-1 Fighters lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout. Hang with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the fifth inning, bottom half. It'll be Mizuno, Hosokawa, and Reyes to come to bat here for the Fighters as they are enjoying a 2-1 lead. Sam Long and the starter, Takayuki Kato. It has not been pretty, but it is a close ball game at 2-1. Both of the pitchers have had to throw a lot of pitches here in this one tonight. So the lefty Mizuno stepping in here. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He homered and walked as he opened up the scoring, and the first pitch on the way from Long is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1. 70 pitches through 4 innings for the American lefty. That pitch there was fouled off. Let's see where that was a strange swing. No balls and 1 strike to Mizuno. Lefty-lefty matchup. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As a reminder, at the end of this half inning, this is what we like to call our Japanese halftime. Fastball swung on, grounded, and it goes through the legs of the third baseman, Ueda. And they're racing over to have to get the ball, as it is going to be the shortstop, Yamazaki, who runs it down. So that's going to be an error charged to the third baseman. So Mizuno into scoring position. Played pinball off his feet. Looked like it went off the glove and then off the inside of his foot. And then it kicked off down the third baseline and all the way over to second is Mizuno. He hit the ball hard. So we're going to go E5 on that one. So the errors and the mistakes for the Fighters showing up here in this one tonight. So let's see what they have up their sleeve. Hosokawa has showed to bunt a couple of times. Will he do it here with the runner at second base? And here comes the pitch from Long. He does square to bunt and finally gets it down. It's a good one. Masakawa picks it up. He throws to first. His only play was to first. The third baseman, Ueda, was coming in and nobody was at the bag. So Mizuno advances over. It's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go 2-4 in the books. So Hosokawa gone for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the DH and Franmil Reyes. So they got a couple of cracks to bring them home. And so for those of you who are here, I speculated the over-under for the first 5 would be 3.5. And right now you're sitting at 3. So this could be the difference of the over or the under. With Reyes stepping into the plate here. 1 for 2 tonight. He's singled and scored a run, and he's grounded into a double play. He's got 55 runs driven in on the year. Pitch from Long. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. That was at 94 miles an hour. Just a little bit behind it was Reyes. Reyes waggling the bat. Waiting on the offering from Long. And here comes the 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Oh, good old-fashioned hardball. That was at 95. So no balls and 2 strikes. Long again getting the sign from his catcher. As Reyes waggles the bat, waiting on the offering yet again. As the lefty works to the belt. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And it is a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's straight back. Count remains at 0-2. I'm a little surprised that he decided to come back with the heat. I would think that he's going to want to try to pull a string here on Reyes at some point. This might be the pitch to do it. So no balls and 2 strikes. Reyes here trying to give the Fighters another run here with the runner at third and one gone. And the pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called third strike. They throw down to third, and they almost nailed the runner. Diving back safely was Mizuno. And so that is a strikeout here to Reyes. He goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That was good heads-up play there by the catcher who came up firing. A good read there by the third baseman. Well executed, just not executed enough. Well, that brings Chusei Minami to the plate, who's 0 for 1 tonight. He has also drawn a walk. Keep your eye on Mizuno here. Anything in the dirt or anything, I would think he could be off to the races, especially with the left-handed pitcher on the mound. Got to keep an eye on him over here. Our friend Gracie Lynn says the Marlins were 52 and 42 a bit ago. And she was starting to take her victory lap, and then they lost 12 in a row. Yeah, that's got to be one of the most hot, cold teams. I saw Clayton McCullough was interviewed, and they wanted to exercise a chicken in the dugout or something like that. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Minami. I wonder if they're going to be both buyers and sellers at the deadline. You know, there are some of those teams that are in that situation, like the Tigers we were talking earlier. I think they're buyers and sellers. I heard the Minnesota Twins are also buyers at the deadline. They added Dean Kremer from the Orioles in a trade today. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field. Minami's aboard with a base hit. He's got an RBI, and that is going to make it a 3-1 ball game as the Fighters have cashed in yet another run here. And that'll bring up the first baseman in Kentaro Kiyomiya. Olmec says, when is the deadline? Deadline for Major League Baseball is Monday at 5 o'clock. I thought for some reason the NPB deadline it was this week here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. I don't know if they know what's going on either, but I guess they're starting to try now. There's a fastball swung on and missed. No balls and one strike to Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya here tonight is officially 0 for 2. He's lined out to left, and he has bounced into a fielder's choice. As the lefty long kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Waggling the bat, Kiyomiya as the lefty works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. On its way. Breaking ball, taken for a called third strike. The runner goes down to second base, but it's all for naught as Kiyomiya goes down looking for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the 5th. Well, they get a run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was 1 error and a runner left aboard. Your scores were now through 5 complete innings. It is the Fighters with a 3-1 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We're going to put the music on loop, and we'll be back and talk in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is the Fighters with a 3-1 lead when we come back in just a few. We'll stretch this one out and give you the call in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
If we're talking about the hottest team in baseball, you got to say the Houston Astros are that. They are 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 4 in a row. And they announced today, as they're sitting atop of the American League West, that Tetsuya Imai is going to be moved to the bullpen. So the Japanese right-hander who they signed in the offseason, he is moving to the pen. It is a logjam, a half-game lead on the Texas Rangers, 3-game lead on the Mariners, while the Athletics and the Angels are pretty much all but gone. Well, a little bit of a surprise as Takayuki Kato, who is on 84 pitches, is coming out to start the 6th inning. I didn't have that on my bingo card, but he is coming out, and he will be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Marines here in this one. Our friend Not Olmec says it's okay. He just likes baseball, and people are passionate about it, like this guy here. Yeah. Definitely like baseball, and we could talk about all kinds of ball all day, but we are going to get back to the Chiba lineup here, as it's going to be Nishikawa, Uedo, and Yamaguchi to come to bat to face the lefty Kato as we resume the action here on the top of the 6th. 84 pitches for the lefty, and the first pitch is a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nishikawa. So no balls and 1 strike. There is another breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't have the luxury of talent. You have to stretch out your starters a little bit further, and certainly that is the case in the NPB, especially on the back end of some of these bullpens. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly to the right side. They're going to have to hurry to get him. A nice play there by the second baseman, and that is Sania ranging deep into the 4-hole. He throws it on the run. Nishikawa is retired on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Kyoto Uedo. And for Uedo, well, he's 0 for 2 tonight in this one. He has grounded out to the pitcher, and he has struck out in his 2 trips. On top of it, he turned into a soccer player a couple innings ago and booted a ball. Led to another run for the Fighters, and there is a breaking ball that's missing down on the way, and the count is 1-0 to Uedo. As we mentioned, tomorrow night, the same 2 teams will go off at midnight Eastern or 9 o'clock Pacific. There's a breaking ball missing down, and the count's now 2-0 to Uedo. Decided to bring that one to you again. As we mentioned, it's Kohei Arihara who will be taking the ball for the Fighters in that one. As there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-1 on Uedo. Again, the lefty kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to the left side and under the glove of Mizuno into left field. So Uedo is aboard with a 1-out single. That'll bring up the left fielder in Koki Yamaguchi. The other one to go tomorrow night is going to be Andre Jackson, the former Los Angeles Dodgers. He will take to the hill for the Marines. Jackson is 7-6 on the year. He has pitched very well for the Marines this year, after spending his first 2 years in the NPB in Yokohama. So Yamaguchi coming to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up and was able to get the third on the air by the left fielder Nomura. First pitch fastball misses inside and backs him off the plate. So 1 ball and no strikes. Gracie Lynn says, the best bullpen is the one you never use because the starter's doing their jobs. Yeah, that's the case. There's a breaking ball that is 2-0. That's another thing, too, is that you got to pace your starters. And so, not Olmec, I do agree with that. If you're going to move somebody out for 300 innings in a year, there's a breaking ball, take it for a called strike. How you manage your arms becomes extremely important. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the lefty Cato ready to go. Works himself to the belt. Here's the 2-1. Fastball swung on and hammered foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-2. Neftali Soto waiting his turn on deck. Lefty Cato ready to go again. Holds to the set. Now he delivers. Fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. And 2-2 it remains. Don Olmec says that now the Marlins won. I forget that they won 2 World Series. I always remember the one. I always have to be reminded that they've got themselves a pair. A lot of teams can't say that they've got themselves a pair in the last 40 years. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at third base. They're spending money, and then they're spending money correctly. And certainly when they've done it, I mean, people will challenge how the Marlins won the World Series. Also look at that in the Japanese League. The team, the Tohoku Rakuten and Golden Eagles in the Pacific League, I've always lamented on how they have spent money on their foreigners. 2-2 pitch on the way, belted into left field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. It is. It's down. It's off the wall. Rounding second and heading to third is Uedo, and that's going to put Yamaguchi at second with another double. It's his second of the ball game. And the Marines have something going here in the top of the 6th. That they got runners at second and third and 1 gone. It's going to bring Neftali Soto to the plate. Well, I don't know what they're going to do here, but I think that if I'm the Fighters, I think I'm going to walk Soto to face Ishikawa. Ishikawa is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts tonight. I would take my chances with him, but I don't know if the Marines would maybe counter with a pinch hitter. We have a conference on the mound as Cato has got a visit from everybody in the infield. Gracie Lynn says the Marlins have a 50% success rate in the playoffs. They have made the playoffs 4 times and have won the World Series twice. That's pretty good. So Soto stepping in. He's 0 for 1 officially tonight. He's also got a sac fly, and he's driven in a run. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Cato. This might be one of those situations where they walk him intentionally, unintentionally. There's the first pitch fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the lefty Cato getting the sign from his catcher. He works himself set. Pitch number 100 of the game coming up, and it's a breaking ball down. It squirts away from the catcher. Tamiya, it's going to run the count to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at third is Uedo. Runner at second is Yamaguchi. As we have one gone here in the sixth, and the pitch on the way from Kato is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. That's ball 3. Why not they just get it over with and hold the 4 fingers up and put them on? Let's get to Ishikawa. So here comes the 3-0 offering as the lefty Kato holds at the belt. Now the pitch on the way, breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. Soto's aboard. That's going to load the bases. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Shingo Ishikawa, to the plate. We'll keep our eye on the Marines and see if they're going to make a change here. Not Olmec says, what are the foreigner rules in the NPB? You can have 3 foreigners in the game at one time and 4 on a game sheet. Some teams will carry as many as 8, but they can't have them on the game sheet. So depending upon if they're starters or not. And we do have ourselves Ishikawa coming to the plate here. As the first pitch on its way from Kato, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yeah, so that's pretty much the basic ruling on the import rules. 4 on a game sheet, on the lineup card, and 3 in the game at one time. So that pretty much keeps it as simple as you can make it. Fastball misses outside, the count goes to 1-1. You could use a double play ball right now, does Kato. It is Ryushi Ogawa who waits his turn on deck. Bottom part of the batting order tonight for the Marines, 0 for 7 and a walk. As they come here, then the pitch is a fastball that just misses inside. It's now 2-1 to Ishikawa. I think it was in 2020 or 2021 when the Tigers had 8 import players on contract. And of course, you have only 70 professional contracts that you can have players between the first team and the knee gun. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded fair down the left field line. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be extra bases. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Stopping at third is going to be Soto, and in with a 2-run double is Ishikawa, and we are back to where we started. As this game is all tied up yet again, a 2-run double as Uedo and Yamaguchi come in to score. And that, I would think, is going to be the end of the night of Kato. I think they left him on a little bit too long. I was really thinking they were going to take him out at the end of the last half inning. So ball ended up bounding over the glove of the third baseman, Arizona, who dove. Couldn't get a glove on it to knock it down. But all smiles for Ishikawa, who had struck out his first 2 times up. He's going to be pulled for a pinch runner. Lots of high fives for him. As the pitching coach, Kato, has come to the mound. It looks like it's the end of the night for the pitcher, Kato himself. We're going to take a little break here. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. Pitching change on the way here. And we'll give you our friend Steve to keep you entertained.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Samurai Prayer says it's 4 p.m. Saturday in Japan. And our friend Not Olmec says, do I happen to know the KBO rules? No, I don't. So I don't want to speak out of line there. But we do have a score line here of 3-3. And we'll get you the reliever here in just a moment as the Fighters are going to their bullpen. The night for Kato is done. But the Marines are still threatening runners at second and third here with one gone, and it's Ryusei Ogawa slated to come to the plate. It is going to be another left-hander. It's number 20. And this is going to be Kenta Uehara, who is coming on in relief for the Fighters. We'll take care of him here. It's going to be his 28th appearance. Got an ERA of 3.42. So Kenta Uehara completing his tune-up tosses. We are ready to get back to the action here in this one. So Ogawa coming to the plate. And we do have a pinch runner over at second base. Ishikawa's night is done. It is Ito who is coming on to run for Ishikawa. One would expect he'll stay in the game to hit. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away to Ogawa, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Genome says, I can't believe they did it. Yeah, well, they've got the infield in right now. Outfield is also in left and center field, although Chusei Minami is playing very deep in right field. So they're looking to try to cut off a run at the plate. There's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count now goes to 2-0. All of a sudden, the Fighters pitchers have forgotten how to throw strikes. So 2 balls and no strikes as the left-handed hitting second baseman Ogawa waggling the bat. Popped to first and flown to center in his 2 trips. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball catches the inside corner, and now the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Looking to cash another run in are the Marines here. As Ogawa waits on the offering. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Lifted into left field. I don't know if it's deep enough to get the run in. Nomura coming in. He makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. Tagging but holding is the runner Soto. It's going to be a fly out by Ogawa. That's going to put 2 outs here on the board for the Marines. And now that is going to bring up the catcher in Ko Matsukawa. Well, they had their chance. Just couldn't quite get it over the hump there. So Matsukawa coming to the plate. He has flown to center and flown to right in his 2 trips. Nope, they're going to go to the bench here. It is going to be the catcher, Toshiya Sato. So Sato is going to replace Matsukawa. And why not? You got a chance to do some damage here. So Sato stepping in. Batting from the left side here against the lefty. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Haven't seen Sato in a while. It looks like he's lost a few pounds in a good way. Looks like he has leaned out a little bit. Stack Bankus says, wanted to know why they started doing that. Well, both of the starters really surprising that they were able to hang in. Fastball swung on it is pop foul over on the third base side of home plate. Giving chase is Tamiya, but he's not able to run it down as he runs out of real estate, and that's going to run the count to 0-2. Yeah, it often makes you wonder sometimes, especially with all the events that took place with FIFA in the last few days or the last few weeks. How much influence is on these games, and certainly the gambling houses, they have their ways. You know the odds. Not very often do you get a game that goes out of control. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty leans in, gets the sign. As he works himself to the belt. Here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 6th inning. Nodding his head in agreement is Yahara, the reliever. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. There to make the catch is the center fielder Hosokawa, and that is going to do it. But the Marines get 2 runs back here in the inning. 2 runs on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the bottom half of inning number 6. It is the Fighters 3 and the Marines 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Bottom of the 6th inning is upon us. It's going to be Yuki Nomura, Naoki Arizono, and Hiroki Suniya to come to the plate. I'm just waiting to see if it is going to be another appearance by Sam Long or if the Marines are going to go to the bullpen. Just waiting on the confirmation of that either way. But we have ourselves a 3-3 deadlock moving to the bottom half of inning number 6. Does look like we are going to have a pitching change. It is going to be number 33 for the Marines. This is going to be Akira Yagi coming on in relief as he is completing his tune-up tosses. So he will take over for Sam Long, who I would say was not the greatest tonight, but I would also say that he did a good job of trying to work out of some situations when he had to. So that is where we're at. And then we have a new third baseman as well. Looks like it is Hisanori Yasuda in at third, as he will take over for the departed Kyoto Uedo. I'm not sure if he'll go in that part of the batting order, but we'll wait and see. First pitch delivered to Nomura as a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is quickly 1-0. Nomura tonight does not officially have an at-bat. He has a walk and a sacrifice fly. He's driven in a run as he's grounded that ball past the third base coach's box. Foul, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. Yagi kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, another one chop foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. Crowd is cheering their team on here, the Fighters. Fastball, that's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Nomura, I'm not sure what he was looking at. Nice pitch there by Yagi, as that's going to retire Nomura for the first out of the inning looking. So 1 up and 1 away. It was a two-seam fastball, had a little backdoor run on it, and caught the outside corner. So in the books is Nomura. That's going to bring Arizona to the plate. Well, for Arizona, as he comes to the dish, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a double and 2 trips. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Don Olmec says my Padres. That would be Matt's Padres. As there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. I don't know what's going on there in Padre land, and I honestly don't think they know what's going on there either. They're 7-3 in their last 10. A couple of games over 500. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count goes to 1-2 on Arizona. It's the Dodgers and everybody else in the National League West. The Dodgers are currently the best team in the National League right now, as they have overtaken the Brew Crew. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. That is going to retire Arizona. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Actually, they said he went around on the pitch. Didn't look like he had made much of an effort to swing, but he's gone for out number 2. He's going to leave it up to Hiroki Suniya. I don't think he would have had to make that called swing. He might as well just rung him up with the right hand. It looked like a pretty good pitch. So here's the first offering to Suniya. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Suniya officially 0 for 1. He's flown to right and walked in his 2 trips. And there's a fastball that misses down. The count is now 2-0. It's actually Arizona, so it's not no A at the end. So Naoki Arizona. That'd be pretty cool if the Diamondbacks picked them up. Maybe legally change it to an A. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Suniya. That is correct, Arizona. So 3 balls and no strikes it is. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. All 4 pitches, giving Suniya his second walk of the evening. That's going to leave it up to the catcher in Tamiya. Well, for Tamiya, as he comes to the plate, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to second, and he's flown to left. As he gets ready to hit here. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yagi. He's got this interesting way that he comes set. He really kicks his leg up. It's like he's digging in dirt. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count 0-1 to Tamiya. Yeah, Arizona and the Diamondbacks would be a funny thing. Even from a marketing standpoint, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Counts now 0-2 to Tamiya. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, as the righty leans in, he gets the sign from his catcher. I think if I'm not mistaken, I heard the NPB is going to the pitch comm next year. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains at 0-2. I think there's just too much technology in the game at times, and that would be one of those things. Who cares about the pitch comm? It's to cut down cheating in the game, so to speak. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Make sure you have a better signal system. And don't play your games in Toronto. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Tamiya, he's gone for the third out of the inning. Striking out the side was Yagi around a walk as well. And that is going to do it here in the sixth inning for the Fighters. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. There's scores. We now move to the back third of the ball game. We are tied at 3s. Stay with us, everybody. It is Chiba coming to bat with the 9-1 and 2 hitters. We'll be back after this musical timeout. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters slated to come to bat for the Marines. It'll be Yamazaki, Fujiwara, and Nishikawa. We're just getting a confirmation if we are going to get another pitching change. Our friend, Your Delusional Q, says, when's the game going to continue? It's 60 seconds generally in between innings. We do have a pitching change as the Fighters are going to their bullpen. It is going to be the left-hander. It's going to be Hiroya Shimamoto. It'll be the third pitcher used tonight. So Shimamoto is in the ball game as the night is over for Kenta Uhara. So Shimamoto on in relief as he completes his tune-up tosses, making his 34th appearance of the year. He's got an ERA of 1.32. So he is just about completed, and we are about ready to resume this action. Yamazaki, who is coming to the plate, 0 for 1 officially. He's also drawn a walk. And the at-bat that he had where he put the ball in play, he had grounded to the shortstop. So Yamazaki to get things going here. Batting .255 on the season. No homers and 1 RBI. As the lefty Shimamoto working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Lefty again ready to deliver as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So Shimamoto coming in and doing nothing but throwing strikes. Be a breath of fresh air as the starters in this one really struggled tonight. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty holds to the set. Kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball missing down. Count goes to 1-2 on Yamazaki. Again, the left-hander nodding in agreement with his catcher as he works himself to the belt. And he delivers a breaking ball down. Now the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the lefty nodding in agreement as he gets the sign that he likes. Here comes the pitch. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball, waved that and missed. Yamazaki, he's gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Kyoto Fujiwara. We are about 40 minutes from the game at the Balloon Dome, as it'll be the Lions and the Buffaloes. The big fella Sean Hajeli gets the start for the Buffaloes. It's Yataro Watanabe who takes to the hill for the Lions. As Shimamoto kicks and delivers a first pitch breaking ball that just misses inside for ball 1. Fujiwara officially 1 for 3 tonight. He has been on base twice, single and a fielder's choice. He's got his average at 292. Pitch on the way, breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. He is somebody you want to try to keep off the base paths. He does move around the bases fairly well. Our friend God is Great in the house. We appreciate you for popping in. Thank you for stopping in as always. Fastball misses down and away. It's now 3-0 here to Fujiwara. So Shimamoto all of a sudden forgetting how to throw strikes. Here comes the 3-0 pitch as Shimamoto delivers. Fastball center cut for a called strike, and now the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Shimamoto nods in agreement, working himself to the belt. And here comes the 3-1 offering. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Kiyomiya fields it. He's going to take it to the bag himself. I think Fujiwara swung at ball 4. He had looked like he got his 9-iron out and chipped it over to the first baseman for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the right fielder in Misho Nishikawa. Well, for Nishikawa, he is officially 0 for 2 in this one. He's grounded out, he's flown out, and he has walked. He's having himself a nice season here as he's got a 297 batting average with those 7 homers and 39 runs batted in. First pitch, fastball misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty again, ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and line foul into the seats down the right field line. The count is 1-1 to Nishikawa. So 1 ball, 1 strike it is. The only game in town in the Japanese League is this one here tonight. Until the other games get going in about 35 minutes' time. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. It's now 2-1 to Nishikawa. Marine fans are in full voice as they are cheering their team on. Here's the 2-1 pitch. On the way. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. Similar pitch that Nishikawa couldn't believe was a strike in the 3rd inning when he was batting. I don't know, a little bit of a wide zone there from the home plate umpire. Here comes the 2-2. Lefty again works himself to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 3-2. As we were saying, the pitch effectiveness in this ball game from the starters to the relievers, it's not been a lot of efficiency in this one here. Only Yagi who struck out the side in the last inning, but even still, he walked the batter. So here comes the 3-2 offering again as Shimamoto looks in at his catcher, Tamiya. As he holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball swung on it. It's going to be knife foul down the right field line. It's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Nishikawa. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on here in the 7th inning. Nishikawa batting here. As the 3-2 offering ready to come from Shimamoto. He nods an agreement with Tamiya. And here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. And Nishikawa is aboard with a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up the third baseman. I believe it is no longer going to be Misho Nishikawa. It is, I believe, where the substitution had come in. I believe it's Hisanori Yasuda, but we'll double check on this. That's exactly who it is. So the new third baseman slots right back into the batting order here. It'll be Hisanori Yasuda getting his first at bat here in this one. So Yasuda stepping in, batting from the left side here as Shimamoto kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses way outside. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the lefty nodding in agreement. A lot of walks in this game. If I have to go through and take a look at the total walk count, I'll do that in the half inning. There's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, unless I can squeeze it in now. Looks like that the Fighters pitchers have had 4 walks so far in this game. Fighters pitchers on the flip side, as they throw over to first base and easily getting back is the runner Nishikawa. 5 walks issued so far by the Chiba pitchers. Not quite at a 1 inning pace, but we are getting into that stratosphere. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Yasuda. And the game started with a pretty good pace. It's been scuffling along here a little bit. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Here comes the offering now from the lefty. Shimamoto instead throws over to first, and again getting back in time easily is Nishikawa. Well, Shimamoto again looking in, getting the signs. Pitch number 21 of the inning for him. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on his grounder right back off the glove of the pitcher. He knocks it down, picks it up, he throws to first, and that's going to retire Yasuda on a ground out 1-3. A little bit of excitement there as the comebacker was not easily played. No runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're moving now to the bottom of the 7th inning, and that is meaning that it is time for our version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game Japanese style. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to have ourselves another pitching change, as it is going to be the Marines going to their pen again. It is number 47, Shota Suzuki, who is coming on in relief, a left-hander. So he'll take over for Iyagi. So Shota Suzuki on in relief, making his 35th appearance. He's got an ERA of 3.03, as he will take over here for the Marines in this one. He'll be slated to face the top of the order in Mizuno, Hosokawa, and Reyes. As it has been the top part of the batting order who has done most of the damage tonight for the Fighters. If you've just joined us, well, the ball game here tonight. The Fighters got things going on a Tatsuki Mizuno home run in the third. Chiba answered back with a sacrifice fly off the bat of Neftali Soto in the top of the fourth inning to make the game 1-1. Fighters got another run back in the fourth to make it a scoreline of 2-1. It was a sacrifice fly off the bat of Yuki Nomura that brought home Franmil Reyes. I made the scoreline 2-1 at that point. It was an error by the third baseman, Ueda, and then it was a RBI single off the bat of Minami that made the scoreline 3-1 for the Fighters. But Chiba responded with two in the top of the sixth, a two-run double off the bat of Shingo Ishikawa that has locked this game up at 3. The first pitch delivered to Mizuno, take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Mizuno tonight has been on board all 3 times he's come to the plate. He's reached on an error, he's homered, and he's walked. And the 0-1 on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I was thinking about next season. If Major League Baseball has a work stoppage, I wonder how the Japanese league could take advantage of that in North America. Just like the KBO did a number of years ago when they were, during the pandemic, had the games that were being played. Sorry about that, everybody. We had our system crash there for a moment. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Mizuno. Friend, Your Delusional says, who you all think is winning in this one here? Well, I still would be leaning toward the Fighters at home. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty works himself into the stretch. Here comes the pitch from Suzuki. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count remains at 2-2. Stack Banka says, how does it work in this league for extra innings? No, there's no ghost runner. They'll play 12 innings. If it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie. But they do play 12 if they have to get that far. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Mizuno. Lefty kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Backing up on it is the shortstop, and that's Yamazaki, who's underneath it to make the catch. And Mizuno is retired by his opposite number for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Ryohei Hosokawa. Stock Banka says he's got him under 7.5. Yeah, I guess you just need 1 run. And that keeps you survived. 2 runs blows your ticket up. Hosokawa, who is officially 0 for 2 tonight, he has bounced it a fielder's choice and grounded out. Also has a sacrifice bunt to his name, and he takes a breaking ball down and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to a ball and a strike on Hosokawa. Big fella Franmil Reyes waiting his turn on deck, and then Chusei Minami to follow. So this is a part of the batting order where one swing of the bat could put a ball in the seats. Pitch on the way, fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Hosokawa. Hosokawa waggling the bat as the lefty Suzuki works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that I'm not sure where that pitch was, but boy, looked pretty good. That's going to run the count now even to 2-2. I don't think Suzuki liked the call either, as he does a long tour of the backside of the pitcher's mound. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty leans in, gets the sign. Works himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, chop, back to the pitcher. Suzuki fields it. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Hosokawa on a ground out. 1-3 for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the designated hitter in Franmil Reyes. So the Fighters have opportunities to push themselves out in front here. Haven't been able to do it yet. Reyes striding in. He is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's singled and scored a run. He has struck out looking and grounded into a double play. Big fella has brought his average back to 330. As the lefty Suzuki ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses inside for ball. Count is 1-0. Got to tell you, I got to think that Franmil Reyes has got to be the front runner for MVP in the Pacific League. Type of season he's having right now with the 330 average, 22 bombs. I know the third baseman for the Hawks, Kurihara, has been pretty good too. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count's 2-0. But I'd still lean toward Reyes with the 330 batting average, leading all of the Pacific League in batting. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. Again, Suzuki getting his signs. Reyes waggling the bat. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, belted into deep left field. Got deep enough as he hit it right on the screws, but right to the left fielder Yamaguchi, and that is going to do it. Reyes is going to be gone for the third out of the inning, and they go in order to the Fighters. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're going to have ourselves another pitching change as the Fighters are going to the bullpen. The big boss is out. He's telling the home plate umpire what that move will be. We'll be back in just a few. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the Marines 3 and the Fighters 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It's going to be number 45 coming to the hill for the Fighters, and that means it's going to be Ren Fukushima as he will take over here. And we'll be back in just a couple of moments as he will complete his tune-up tosses. We'll give you all the action when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. Ren Fukushima is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one back underway. It'll be Yamaguchi, Soto, and Ito slated to come to bat for the Marines to face the reliever here in the top of the 8th inning. Koki Yamaguchi has had a decent night tonight. He's got a couple of doubles. He scored 2 of the 3 Marine runs. He's also popped to the catcher as he comes to the dish here in this one. He's also played a pretty solid left field for Chiba tonight. So we are ready to get this one back underway. Yamaguchi waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, who holds to the set. Now he kicks and fires. First pitch fastball misses way outside. The count is 1-0. So the trend continues. The relievers continue not to get ahead in the count on a regular basis. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up into center field, moving over underneath it with room to make the catch is the center fielder Hosokawa, and that's going to retire Yamaguchi for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up Neftali Soto to the plate. Well, for Soto, he is officially 0 for 1 today. He has flown to left. He also has a sacrifice fly where he's driven in a run, and he has drawn a walk in his other trips. So the right-hander Fukushima delivers a first pitch fastball, again missing outside. The count is 1-0. They're just not going after the hitters, that is for certain. Again, the right-hander kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Mizuno takes it. He fires over to first. That's going to be an easy out there as Soto's in the books on a ground out, 6-3. 2 gone here in the inning, and it's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ito. So I do believe we're slated to bring him up. He had come in to replace Shingo Ishikawa back as a runner in the 6th. So we'll see if Ito stays in, and he does. Ito, the former Saitama Cebu Lion, batting .225. He's 16 for 71 with a homer and 9 RBIs. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on, and this is popped up in foul territory on the third base side. Giving chase is Tamiya, and he's going to run out of real estate as it goes into the camera well. That's going to be a strike to Ito. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Game is in the deep water now. We are in the 8th inning. Both the clubs are running out of outs to try to win it in the regulation. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as Fukushima delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Fielded neatly by the third baseman, Arizono. He throws it in the dirt, but a nice pick there by Kiyomiya. Ground out 5-3. That's going to end the inning here for out number 3, and that'll do it here in inning number 8. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as the Marines go in order. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the heart of the order coming up to bat for the Fighters. We'll have it for you when we return after this musical timeout. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be Manami, Kiyomiya, and Nomura to come to bat here in the 8th inning. We're just waiting on a confirmation of a pitching change for the Chiba Lotte Marines. We'll get that for you as soon as that becomes available, as we have ourselves a game that is knotted up at 3. One swing of the bat here could sway that in a different direction, and they've got the men to do it here, as all three of the next 3 hitters have at least 10 homers or more. So we'll see where this will take us here. Just waiting. That's one thing I do have complaints about, is they don't get us the pitching change as quick as we would like to. As it was Suzuki who is on the mound in the last half inning. Shota Suzuki, are they going to stay with him, or will his night be done? My bet is that with this kind of delay, the day will be done sooner than later. Takayuki Kato, well, not get his 11th win tonight, as he left the game serving up 3 of the runs. He'll have to go another week before he gets a chance to try to go for number 11. Well, Manami is coming to the plate, and we do have a new pitcher. It's going to be Shinsuke Nakamori. So he will take over here for Shota Suzuki. So Nakamori on the hill here. He has a 1.57 ERA this year. And squaring to bunt is Manami. You didn't expect that. And he bunts it foul over on the third base side. So no balls and 1 strike. I mean, heck, Manami can do it. And he has done it in the past. So no balls and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting right fielder of the Fighters. And now the pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball, misses down and away. Count goes even at 1-1. Whatever you can do to get yourself on base, use your legs in some capacity and get around the base paths. So if you can get the leadoff guy on, well, I certainly don't see this part of the order as squaring to bunt. At least not regularly. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Manami. As we mentioned, same 2 teams tomorrow night on the channel, so if you're in the neighborhood, be an hour earlier start. And we'll try to put the correct time up, indicating our start time for the game. We ended at 4 a.m. It wasn't at 4 a.m. It was at 1 a.m. Eastern, or 10 on the Pacific Coast. Fastball swung on and missed. And Manami's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the first baseman in Kotaro Kiyomiya. Well, for Kiyomiya, he is officially 0 for 3 tonight. He has lined to left. He has bounced into a fielder's choice, has struck out looking. So he could use anything promising to get off the schneid. He's been struggling over the last little bit. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Kiyomiya. Right-hander again working himself into the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So Kiyomiya's got himself a good spot to hit in. 2 balls and no strikes. And the right-hander working himself into the set. Here comes the 2-0. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul behind home plate. The count is 2-1 to Kiyomiya. Fighters looking for some late inning magic here. 2 balls and 1 strike, 3-3 tie, bottom of the 8th. There's a split figure pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 on Kiyomiya. Right-hander again, ready to go back at it as the Yakamori kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. It's down for a base hit. Rounding first is Kiyomiya, and he's going to be held to a single. That ball right on the screws. He needed that, and so did the Fighters. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Yuki Nomura, to the plate. And it also looks like it is going to be the end of the night for Kiyomiya. Are they going to get a pinch runner for him? Have to wait and see. Would bat an eye if it was Ryo Isobata coming off the bench. That is the end of the night for Kiyomiya. As he will go and sit down, we'll see who they are going to get to run. Oh, it is not going to be. It's not going to be Isobata. It's going to be number 12. That's Kota Yazawa. So Yazawa on to run here. And the pitch to Nomura is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is a 1-0. Kota Yazawa, who was at one time in his career a dual player, pitched and hit. I think those days are done. He is predominantly a hitter now. He's got really good speed. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. On the way, breaking ball swung on and is lifted down the first right field line, giving chase and making the catch in foul territory is Soto. That's going to retire Nomura for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Naoki Arizono. And walking back to the dugout is Nomura, not happy with himself. So this brings Arizona to the plate. He is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double in 3 trips. He's also struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. And the first pitch delivered to Arizona is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Fighters with a runner at first here. And 2 gone in the inning. And they fire over to first base, and diving back in time is Yazawa. Yazawa has appeared in 1 game to pitch this year. He pitched a third of an inning. And that has been it. Yazawa has had some time in the field. He's hitting below 200, but he does have 5 stolen bases this year. He can run a little bit. And the pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on, and it's going to be chopped foul over on the third base side. And now the count goes to 0-2 on Arizona. If you've just joined us, well, 3-3 ball game it is. There's been no scoring since the 6th inning when the Marines had come back with a couple of runs to tie it. And that is where we are seated right now in this one. 3-3 deadlock. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers. Fastball misses down and away. Good job there by Arizona to lay off it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Get a look at the replay on that one. Boy, it should have maybe went down and asked for an appeal. It looked like maybe the pitch was outside, but certainly the swing don't know if he necessarily held that one up. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And stand up, stepping off the back of the mound and feigning a throw to first base is Nakamori. I was going to say, depending upon where they're at, you might want to run here, but you want to run and have the bottom third of the order potentially coming up next inning? We'll just have to wait and find out. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. It is down in the dirt. Did he go? Yes, he did. The runner was on the move. It's going to be a strikeout as Arizona's down for the third out of the inning. They don't have to worry about throwing down, so that'll do it here in inning number 8 for the Fighters. No runs, a 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Their score now has moved to the top of the 9th inning. It is a 3-3 ball game. Fighters are looking like they're going to the pen again. And we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this musical timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat the bottom third of the Chiba batting order. That means Ogawa, Sato, and Yamazaki. And the reliever, Fukushima, well, he is staying in the ball game for another inning of work. It is going to be Kode Yazawa is going into center field. We do have a couple other changes. It looks like Nomura has come over into first base. And it looks like number 56. We're going to get a confirmation on that. As it doesn't tell us who it is. It looks like it is Hosokawa is going to go over into left field. Hosokawa listed as an infielder at the start in center field tonight. Kode Yazawa obviously taking over for Kiyomiya and going into center field. Well, coming to the plate here is Ogawa. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch from Fukushima is a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Lumen Code said he was going to put some beer money on the Fighters. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So he put it on the Giants for the next game. Looks like the pitchers have been good this game, both sides. Not necessarily. The bullpen's been better, but both of these teams have really struggled to get ahead in the count, throw strikes. There was a lot of walks in the first 5 innings of this one. Fastball misses upstairs, count goes to 1-2, but the relievers have come in and sort of settled things down. So certainly since the 6th inning, it has been quieter on the base paths. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Ogawa aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 9th inning. That's going to bring up the catcher in Toshiya Sato. Well, for Sato, he came on in the 6th inning to pinch hit for Matsukawa. And he is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field in his only trip to the plate. Got to keep your eye on Ogawa. He can run. He's got 5 stolen bases this year. I would think in this situation, that might be where you want to get him. Get him over to second base. And then let Sato do his work. They throw over to first, and diving back is Ogawa. We're here in the top of the ninth inning. Chiba has runner on, nobody out. As Fukushima ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count's 1-0 to Sato. So ball and no strikes. Again, the right-hander Fukushima ready to go again. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses down and in. Looked pretty good to me. So 2 balls and no strikes. Ogata the runner at first. Sato at the plate here. I'm surprised they haven't put Ogawa into motion. Here comes the 2-0. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul into the seats on the third base side of home plate. Count 2-1 to Sato. So we'll do this all over again as Sato digs himself back in. Fukushima getting the sign from his catcher. And the right-hander works to the set. Here comes the 2-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Oh, it's belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and it is gone. A home run. Fukushima serving up a 2-run shot to Toshiya Sato. And the Fighters now find themselves in a 2-run deficit, 5-3 to the Marines. Oh, boy. Absolutely obliterated. A 2-run shot here off the bat of Sato. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And our friend Stack Banka, 1 run was okay. 2 runs was going to sewer you. And unfortunately, I think you're in the sewer. That's unfortunate for you. And Fukushima, I was kind of curious. I watched him. He pitched really well that first inning. Came back out for the second inning, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to work here. First pitch, fastball misses down and in. The count is 1-0. Last inning, he fell behind on 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. And has followed suit here in this inning as well. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes even to 1-1. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Fighters. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes it is. We're going to get into the deepest of waters in the bottom of the 9th inning. Breaking ball down. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say that Yamazaki didn't go. It runs the count full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. 5-3 Marines now have the lead here. Courtesy of the 2-run shot by Sato. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third base line. Count remains at 3-2. Go to the bottom of the inning. Really what's going to have to happen is Fighters got to get at least a runner on base for a chance. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Yamazaki down on strikes for the second time today. He's gone for out number 1. That'll bring up the top of the order in Kyoto Fujiwara. It looks like the big boss is up out front. Looks like we may have a pitching change. As the pitching coach, Kato, was on his way to the mound. That's going to be the end of the night for the reliever, Fukushima. His day is done. He's taken off, and that will be a pitching change here. Ending in the third, 21 pitches. The big blow was the 2-run shot here by Sato. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this timeout.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Well, we do have a pitching change, and we'll be back in just a moment to give it forward to you right after this.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a 5-3 lead now for the Marines. As this game here, our friend Andrew is asking the question, Buffaloes or the Lions? It's a good question. I know Jelly is going for the Buffaloes tonight, and going for the Lions is Watanabe. I would go Buffaloes on that one. I don't know. I've seen Watanabe pitch, and he drives me crazy. Yesterday, the Buffaloes won, and they're chasing the Lions, so I wouldn't be surprised that they get a victory there. The reliever in for the Fighters, it's number 24. It's going to be Shota Kanamura. So he is going to take over here in this one for Fukushima. So Shota Kanamura on in relief. And he has just completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. And it was Kyoto Fujiwara on to lead or to come up to the plate here with one out. And the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. Fujiwara got a hit to start the ball game, and then he bounced into a fielder's choice and is grounded out twice. So he is officially 1 for 4. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's going right after the hitters. That's a split-finger pitch swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 0-2 to Fujiwara. So no balls and 2 strikes. Fujiwara waggles his bat, batting from the left side here against the right-hander. Kanamura ready to deliver. Here comes the pitch. Split-figure pitch swung on and lifted foul down the third base line into the seats. And the count remains at 0-2. I think if I was pitching here in this situation, I think I would want to walk the ladder on Fujiwara with a fastball up and in. See if we can catch up to something like that. Here comes the 0-2. Looks like they've got the same scouting report I do. Fastball, but it misses up and away. It's not the spot the catcher wanted it. 1-2 now to Fujiwara. Andrew says he's going to drop 200 on the Buffs. I don't know if that's dollars or if that's Taiwanese dollars. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It's been one of those nights tonight. They just can't seem to put the hitters away, fall behind the count, battle back, and they just claw you away, and then that's when the damage is done. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball swung on, grounded to the left side. Mizuno fields it, throws to first. That's going to retire Fujiwara on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the right fielder in Misho Nishikawa. Andrew says that's in U.S. dollars. Oh, that's good. So 2 gone here in the inning, and Nishikawa stepping to the plate. He has been on base twice. He's walked a couple of times, but he's grounded out and flown out his other 2 trips. And the pitch on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count quickly 0-1. Well, the Fighters are going to have their chance at the bottom of the inning, but I think they may have missed their chance in that last half inning. All the big guns have come to the plate, so they're going to have to do it with the pea shooters. That's the 0-1 pitch ready to go here. Kanemaru delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field. It's going to bleed down for a base hit. And to get it is Manami, so the hit parade continues here in the 9th inning for Chiba. And that is going to bring up third baseman in Hisanori Yasuda. Well, for Yasuda, as he comes to the plate, he is officially 0-for-1 tonight. Yasuda grounded out to the pitcher his first time up and only time up. He came on to replace Kyoto Uedo back in the 7th inning. So batting from the left side is Yasuda, and here comes the pitch. Right-hander delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted foul into the seats on the third base side. Count is 0-1 to Yasuda. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander leaning in, getting the sign. Kanemaru gets the one that he likes, and here comes the 0-1 pitch. On its way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a split-finger pitch, misses down. It squirts away from the catcher. But retreating back to first base is the runner Nishikawa. It's going to run the count 2-1 to Yasuda. So 2 balls and 1 strike. It's important that they shut this one down here. Don't let another run get on. Coming back from a 2-run deficit is tough enough. But a 3-run deficit would be the kiss of death. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-1 on Yasuda. He's going to get a good pitch to hit here with Koki Yamaguchi waiting on deck. So here comes the 3-1 offering as Kanemaru ready to deliver again. Pitch on the way. Fastball center cut for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. The runner Nishikawa is going to be on the move with the pitch. As Yasuda waits on the offering here from Kanemaru. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled right into the, looks like into the hand of Ua Tamiya. Whoa. He's going to need a moment here to collect his. That's where I don't like it, where the catchers will put their hands sometimes in their crotch when there's runners on base because they're wanting to try to have it ready position if they have to throw somebody out. It leaves them in a vulnerable position for sure. So it looks like he's going to be okay. He's very fortunate not to have had an injury in this one. I've seen guys, I remember I had a catcher one time, took a foul ball there right before the sectionals. Well, in fairness to Tamiya, where his hand was, it was behind his leg, and the ball was fouled off, and it went between his leg and ended up catching his hand. So he's got to actually put it a little closer to his ankle. So here comes the 3-2 all over again. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to the left side. Diving play by the shortstop. Mizuno gets up and fires to first. Oh, what a phenomenal play by the shortstop of the Fighters. A ground out 6-3 to end the inning. And that is going to do it here for out number 3. Well, they get a pair of runs in the inning, does Chiba. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left behind on base. And your score as we move to the bottom of the ninth. That is a 5-3 ball game for the Marines. Stay with us. We'll see if there's any last inning magic for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters when we return after this. Appreciate you listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Rikudo Yokoyama, who is coming on in relief, and it is the star of the show right now is Toshiya Sato, who hit the homer in the top of the ninth. It is now the difference in this one, 5-3 lead for the Marines. So we'll see how this one shapes up here as he is completing his tune-up toss. It's supposed to be Sania, Tamiya, and the top of the order Mizuno to come to bat. So we're about to find out exactly what this is going to look like for Yokoyama. This is the 38th appearance of Yokoyama for the year. He has 26 saves. He's got an ERA of 1.73. So he is taking over here on the mound. And as I look at it, Naoya Masuda once upon a time was the closer. Well, his day as the closer looks like it is now in the rear view mirror. Masuda getting on in age. So it will be Yokoyama to try to close it out. Lots of changes all around the field. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you everybody. So we'll see how this all plays out. The first pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Sania. They need a base runner, do the Fighters. All kinds of changes all over the park, including Daido Yamamoto. I believe he's in left field. And Raito Ikeda is at first base. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. 5-3, bottom of the ninth inning. Fighters need a base runner. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to second, fielded on an in-between hop by the second baseman, Ogawa, who throws to first, and Sania's gone on a ground out 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the catcher and Yua Tamiya. Or will we see a pinch hitter? Tamiya taking that ball off the hand in the last inning. Might end his night. It is going to end his night. It's going to be Yuya Gunji coming to bat. So Yuya Gunji. On to pinch hit. We'll see how this all shapes up here. So Gunji batting 2. As we get ready to face the right-hander, the first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Gunji. And the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to short. Fielded by Yamazaki. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Gunji on a ground out 6-3. And so now the Fighters are down to their final out, as it's the top of the order, and Tatsuki Mizuno coming to the plate. So Mizuno striding to the dish. And he is been on base 3 times in this one. He's walked, he's homered, he's reached on an error, and he has popped to short. As the right-hander kicks, and he delivers. First pitch fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into right field, down for a base hit. So the Fighters have life, as it is going to bring Ryohei Hosokawa to the plate. So a single off the bat of Mizuno. And the beat continues here. So Chiba not out of the woods yet. The first 2 outs here and now. Fighters looking to try to tie the ball game with 1 swing of the bat. And so this is Hosokawa to the plate. He's had a rough night tonight. He is officially 0 for 3. He does have a sacrifice bunt. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up and away. That was at 95. So ball and no strikes. A lot of movement here from the right-hander. So Yokoyama has a lot of movement on his pitch. A lot of arm side run. It's really low 3/4 arm action. Franmil Reyes waiting his turn on deck. Here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, tapping both sides of the plate. Hosokawa digs himself back in. As the right-hander ready to go here. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. If you just joined us, the 2-run shot in the top of the 9th inning broke the deadlock off the bat of Toshiya Sato, the catcher for the Marines. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball comes way inside. It's now 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Oh, and looming on deck is Franmil Reyes. It'd be quite the finish. You got Reyes to come to face the hard-throwing right-hander. How do you like your chances? So here comes the 3-1 pitch. Looking to find a way on base. Here comes the offering. On its way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Hosokawa looked like he was taken all the way. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Mizuno, the runner at first, 2 gone here in the 9th inning. Hosokawa trying to keep the inning alive. They're down to their final strike. Mizuno will be off to the races here on the pitch. As the right-hander again works to the belt. Here comes the pitch from Yokoyama. On its way. Fastball swung on, and it's chopped foul right on the first base line. Keeps the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is again. The payoff pitch will come up one more time. Hosokawa looking to give a battle here to Yokoyama. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. I think that might have been ball 4. But Hosokawa able to fight it off and get it into the seats. Too close to take. So down to their final strike. This is for the 3rd time here. I guess you would call it. Triple match point if we were playing tennis. So here comes the 3-2 as the right-hander Yokoyama works to the belt. And the 3-2 on its way. Fastball swung on, lined into left center field. Is it going to get down? Yes, it is. Rounding second and heading to third is Mizuno, and it's a single for Hosokawa, and it's going to keep this one alive. Mizuno all the way around to third, single for Hosokawa. Runners on the corners with 2 gone, and it's going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate. Oh, so if you've just stuck around. Unbelievable. Hosokawa able to fight it off. He did a good job of keeping it from getting up the gap. If that ball would have gone up the gap, it would have been a run for sure. So now Reyes comes to the plate here with runners at the corners. And 2 gone. The conference on the mound here as the pitching coaches come out to have a few words with his closer, Yokoyama. So that conference is over, and now we're ready to get back to the action. So Franmil Reyes coming to the plate. He's 1 for 4 tonight. He singled and scored a run. He's struck out, flown out, and grounded into a double play. So here we go. Reyes touching both sides of the plate. We are ready to go back at it again. Yokoyama checks the runner over at first. And the pitch on the way. Oh, breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Reyes was anticipating dead red. And he swung through a slow breaking ball for strike 1. Count as 0-1. DJ Lloyd says, what's Watanabe's box score? I don't know what you're talking about. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And Yokoyama delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And yet again, the Fighters are down to their final strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Reyes. This is the 4th time tonight that the Fighters are down to their final strike. If you just joined us, the 2-run shot in the top of the 9th inning gave the Marines the 5-3 lead. That's where it stands right now. Runners at the corners, 2 gone, no balls and 2 strikes to Franmil Reyes. As the right-hander holds to the set position, here comes the 0-2. On its way, split finger pitch misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Reyes. So if you just stumbled in here, you're come back at the right time. The Fighters are looking to write a storybook ending to this one. Marines looking to close the book. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Yokoyama holds set. on its way. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Reyes is down on strikes, and that is going to do it here in this one as the Fighters fall to the Marines by a score of 5-3. No runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Your final score is the Chiba Lotte Marines with a 5-3 victory over the Fighters. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap it up for you in just a couple of moments after this musical timeout. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We'll give it the roundup of this one, and we'll call it a night. First of all, the scoring got going in the third inning with 2 out when Tatsuki Mizuno stepped to the dish and hit a solo shot to give the Fighters an early 1-0 lead. Chiba responded in their half of the fourth inning. It was a double off the bat of Yamaguchi. He advanced on the error by the left fielder. And then up stepped Neftali Soto, and he delivered a sacrifice fly to even the score at 1 apiece. Fighters then grabbed the lead in the fourth inning. Franmil Reyes led off with a single, and he was eventually brought home on a sac fly off the bat of Yuki Nomura. Made the scoreline 2-1. Fighters added to their lead in the fifth inning. An error off the bat of Tatsuki Mizuno allowed him to go all the way to second base. Osakawa bunted him over to third. An RBI single off the bat of Chusei Minami plated Mizuno, and that gave them Fighters a 3-1 lead. But in the sixth inning, the Marines got a pair back on a 2-run double off the bat of Shingo Ishikawa. That tied the score at 3. And then the scoring in the ninth inning, a single off the bat of Ogawa and a 2-run homer from Toshiya Sato. That iced the ball game for Chiba in this one. Again, your final score, 5-3 for the Marines. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Chiba. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Hokkaido. Again, your final score in this one, 5-3. Once again, everybody, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. It'll be the same 2 teams. It'll be an hour earlier start, so hopefully you can join us. That'll be 9 o'clock Pacific or midnight on the Eastern time zone. Hopefully you guys can be here with us for that. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again on the flip side tomorrow night. Same 2 teams, same place, same channel. Have a great night, everybody.